Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Saturday morning. It is game day and everyone will be making their way to Celtic Park this afternoon. But before then, let's dissect what the manager said yesterday. It's unfortunate. Just when we thought we were getting a little bit closer to the end with a full fit squad, we've got some important players that have picked up some injuries after last week that was obviously kept hidden from the media until yesterday. Obviously, Dyson Myra's out. He picked up a hamstring issue. Is that Dyson Myra out for the end of the season? Tell me in the comments. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up so we can reach as many Celtic fans as possible. Liam Scales out. Is that a big one for Celtic this weekend? Who will come in? Will it be Big Rocky or will it be the one Gustav Lagerbielke? Who do you think? Or will it even be Stephen Welsh? Will it be Stephen Welsh? Who do you think the manager will pick for the defence this weekend? And then the forgotten man, the man that hasn't played for Celtic since October 2022. Yes, it's a bit like Finding Nemo is trying to find James McCarthy and this Celtic team or even Celtic squad. Anyway, let's listen to what Brendan Rodgers had to say yesterday. He was asked the very first question: do you believe that points are better than prizes? Do you believe that points on the board are better than playing catch up? Kind of. But first question was all about them.
I just believe in where you aim to finish at the end of the season and how you collect your points. That's all that matters. So yeah, obviously I seen the game being postponed, which is unfortunate for the two managers. And did you make your preparations for the games? But no, you can only ever concentrate on your own team and doing your own job.
The old phrase "sporting integrity" has been thrown out. Suggestions that not getting the pre-split games done this weekend altogether sort of damage the integrity of the competition. Do you think that is a fair argument?
Who the fuck's talking about sporting integrity? Do not tell me that Sevconians are talking about sporting integrity. This is the team that cheated their way to going into liquidation, and seriously, they cannot be speaking about. I mean, I understand that if this game does get moved to Paisley, it'll be absolutely ridiculous decision. One of the most ridiculous decisions ever to be made in Scottish football. But come on. They are not, surely, please tell me, they are not talking about sporting integrity. No team that comes out of Govan should ever, and no matter what existence it comes in, or what club, or what company it comes in, should never be talking about sporting integrity.
Well, all I know is that in both times I've been up here that the games I've been led to believe had to be complete before the split. So that is the only thing that's ever been made clear. I know certainly in my time here and speaking to the guys that there's been moments when they've wanted to have the games and they haven't been able to be changed. So yeah, so it's unfortunate, but it'll be something obviously for the league that they have to look to try and control.
Surely they have to get this game played next week. I mean, this is the last weekend before the split. So surely they have to play it next midweek at some point. Easily done, isn't it?
Potentially could have to go to Dundee again after the split. How do you view the challenge that might throw up and all the issues around the pitch that have been spoken about this last week?
I've not thought one iota on it, if I'm honest. You know, we know that we will have 5 games in the split once it comes, and they'll all be tough games. So wherever we have to go to, I'm not thinking any more, any less on that.
Exactly. The way that the Celtic, I mean, do the media not get it yet? Brendan's installed since his first time here, and it's been the ongoing situation with the Celtic. It's one game at a time. There's no point in trying to look into the future and trying to read crystal balls, is there? Anyway, let's see what they say after this.
Do you think that this has been damaging for the league?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, it's not a...
How can it be damaging for the league, right? It's weather related, right? We have the ridiculous scenario in Scotland over as many years now as where we have a winter shutdown for 2 weeks. A winter shutdown, and it's probably at the time of the year when the weather's at its most calm. And there's never any bad weather to say of such. So the fact that it has been raining for so long in Scotland and they have had issues all around the place. It's the weather. Get over it.
Great look. I think obviously both games to have been televised, and especially in April. I know we've had a wee bit of rain, but you'd still expect to be able to get the game on. So there's clearly a big issue with the pitch there. Nothing that I'm sure Tony and his football staff can control. I know I was up there earlier on the season, and it was early on in the season. I think it was September, and it looked very slippy and very not what it used to be. Because I certainly know in my first time here, I always felt Dundee was one of the best pitches. Nice big open space to play in, and the pitch was always in a good condition. So
at this point of the video, we're now 2 minutes 40 in, and not one question has been asked about the Celtic game this weekend. Unfortunately, the media have managed to gain control of the narrative this week, heading straight into it and getting Brendan Rodgers off track. So it'll be interesting to see when he turns the narrative back to the game this weekend.
But yeah, it doesn't have a good look, and it's something that I've always talked about up here, and is about the standard and standard of football pitches. They have to be at the highest possible level to produce the best football that we can to entertain the supporters, because that's our job.
How did Callum come through Sunday's game? Okay.
Yeah, he's come through well. We're
Perfect. 3 minutes in, and we were first asked about Callum, how he came through Sunday's game. So it took them 3 minutes to actually start talking about Celtic. That's the media in Scotland for you, isn't it?
still clearly managing him. He done absolutely incredible to be available for the game, because the timeline was beyond Rangers, but he'd worked so hard. He wanted to put himself out there, and he'd only trained a few days coming into the game. And so I think that this week has been another good week for him, but we just have to manage it. He's not out of the woods at all. We just have to manage where he's at. But just seeing him in training this morning there, he looked very good. But it's also recognising that he'd been out quite a long time. You know, no matter who you are, if you've missed virtually 5 odd weeks of training, and you're not obviously going to be at your best level football fitness wise. But this week he's showed up very well.
That's good. That's good that Callum McGregor has shown up pretty well in training, and he's going to be an important player heading forward for us. And you know, it is all about managing his game time, really, between now and the end of the season. And it's about managing his game time to make sure that he's fitness up. There's no use bringing him on from the start, especially at the game this weekend at Celtic Park. You know, we should be able to manage without him. It's like get him on for the last 30 minutes, get his fitness back up, get his game fitness back up. It's not necessarily his fitness, because, I mean, Callum McGregor is one of the fittest people at Celtic Park. And it's all about just making sure that his game fitness is up to a level.
So the likelihood is that he won't be involved tomorrow.
Will that require him seeing a specialist for that, or is it just something you're just going to have to watch?
Yeah, something that the medical team will look at, but yeah, we'll see where that goes in the next week or so, and then we'll see whether or understand better whether what inclusion he'll have now between now and the end of the season.
I think it's looking bad for Dyson when you think about it. I mean, there's only a month and a bit to go to the end of the season. I think that Dyson Maeda could possibly be out for the rest of the season. If it's one of the players that you didn't really want to be out at this point of the season. But I've got other players that have come back in. Can we manage without Dyson Maeda between now and the end of the season?
Must feel the team's in a good place after Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. No, I was really pleased with at the time, and then coming away and analysing the game logically as well. I thought the integrity of the team, how they played, how they conducted themselves in the game was absolutely fantastic. You know, from the start of the game, really attack-minded. We had to go through moments of pressure, and that's when you really got to dig in and bite on the gum shield then and take it. And we did that very, very well, and then came through that and looked like we could win the game. So yeah, I was so pleased, because I always maintain it's the hardest place to go if you're a Celtic player when you go to Ibrox, and especially with no supporters. Yeah. So to go there and deliver that performance that sort of highlighted lots of really good parts of our game with and without the ball, and knowing that we've got some difficult fixtures, but certainly when that fixture comes around again, the energy of 60,000 people, what that'll give us at home then yeah, I think we're in a really good place.
We are in a really good place. They celebrated a draw like they'd won the Champions League. So it is all in Celtic's hands, and it starts off today, this afternoon, the last game before the split, and then it's down to the money-making end of the season, the bit where the prizes are given out, and it is all still in Celtic's hands.
In the games off the pitch, but as I said, our integrity and on and off the pitch was superb.
For the team that wins the league, how perfect do you think the running will need to be with it so tight?
Still not talking about the game this weekend, though. This is the come on, people. It's like, seriously? Have a bit of respect to the team that we're playing this weekend.
Yeah, listen, it's exciting, but I think that you just have to go into each game, and we're excited by that. You know, really bringing our big level now to the games, get important players back, functioning well, and like we showed in that first sort of 55 minutes of the game, where we were outstanding in our football intensity and real attacking mindset. So,
real attacking mindset. And you've got to remember last week, Dyson Maeda scored the goal within the first 30 odd seconds, the first half minute of the game. He's going to be a big miss, isn't he? He's going to be a massive miss, I think, for Celtic over the next couple of weeks. With that pace, do we have anyone that can be really as direct as Dyson and as fast? Will James Forrest get a shout between now and the end of the season?
In terms of the final part of the season, isn't it?
not really. It's not. He's done great. He's done fantastic for us, and like you say, he was very, very good last weekend. But yeah, if it is to be, and if he's out, you know, there'll be an opportunity there for someone else to come into the game. What he brings, the intensity, the pressing, and all that side of it, of course, that's big for us. But it's an opportunity for other players to step up and bring that level of intensity and bring their individual brilliance to the game. So that's something that, like I said, it's not something you can dwell on too much. We've had a lot this year where key players been out, but you still have to continue. And I'm just liking what I'm seeing with the team at the moment. The focus, the energy in the team, the quality that we're showing, and yeah, we look to bring that in starting tomorrow.
Is Lewis Palma ready to start if he's...
Well, he's available. He's available, which is important. He'd only had a few days training last week leading into that game, but he's had a really good week to 10, 12 days now, so he'll come into the squad tomorrow.
Perfect. So Louis Palma is back. Will he give us that added spark that Dyson doesn't? Does that really work? But anyway, Louis Palma, you know what he's like. He'll be cracking to get on it for the end of the season. He'll be wanting to bang in a couple of goals and make a name for himself, because you know what that player is like. And it's been an interesting listen to Brendan today. They still haven't really talking about the Celtic players.
Without being able to be at the stadium, that was their way of giving us a great send-off, and it was
talking about the fans last week, the amazing fans that went to Celtic Park to obviously see off the team bus last week, and some fantastic pictures. And having listened to some of the interviews during the week, I mean, and Adam either, he thought it was absolutely, as a player, as a person that wants to play for Celtic, he thought it was absolutely fantastic. The send-off that all the fans, and hats off to all the fans, because they're generally the fans that do go into the games week in, week out, and spend their hard-earned cash following Celtic.
Absolutely amazing, and I know especially a lot of the new guys were taken aback by that, as was I, because it gave us that real lift driving away.
Yes. What's your message to the support for the remaining games this season?
Just keep the faith and keep giving us that incredible support, because it really, really makes the difference.
It does.
You know, I'm sure there'll be some edgy moments throughout the 6 games and in the cup game, but now you just keep the faith, keep with the team, give us everything, and we'll give you everything back on the pitch.
Yes, give us everything, and we'll give you everything back. That's a fantastic way to end this part of the video. Give us everything, and we'll give you everything back on the pitch. Brendan was then asked about the one and only Mikey Johnson. He was asked about the one and only Mikey Johnson and how he's getting on down in England in the Championship, and the fact that he did get that award. And then they went in, and Brendan Rodgers obviously spoke about him coming back to Celtic this summer and pushing on for a place in the team and coming back all positive and happy. So it is a player that Celtic doesn't look like they're going to get rid of this summer. Looks like Mikey Johnson is going to come back reinvigorated. And you've got to remember, he did go to Portugal last season, but could this be the season that really kicks him on as a player and will come back to Celtic? You never know. There could be some wingers leaving Celtic this summer. He was then asked about recruitment and the ongoing saga. It's not really a saga, is it? The ongoing search for a recruitment staff and head of recruitment. And let's see what Brendan had to say about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a part of that process, of course. Listen, you're always thinking short, medium, and longer term, and especially if you want to be here for that longer term. I'd love that opportunity to help shape that. I've had a lot of experience in the game. The game is moving and changing all the time. I want to try and offer opportunities here for more of our younger players. So in order to do that, you need to plan that, and you need to have everything in place in below that's going to give those guys the opportunity. We need to take greater focus on our lone players. We'll have someone in a role that will come in and work specifically on that and working with those young players and other players that are out on loan and helping that pathway into the first team be clearer. So yeah, I'm very much a part of that.
Interesting that he is very much a part of that. So obviously the pathway that Celtic are looking at for our own younger players is once they get to a certain age, is put them out on loan, get them some first team experience, build up their confidence and make sure that they will come back ready to fight for a place, and they know the pathway that will take them into that Celtic first team. And on that note, we'll do a live about an hour and 15 minutes before the game today, where the team will be announced. A lot of you will be heading to Celtic Park just around that time. On that note, the sun is shining. It's going to be a fantastic day. Have a absolutely amazing day, Celtic fans all around the world.